Hey guys, what's up? Excoundrel here, and I just want to show you I've just hit top 100 on Command & Conquer Rivals. I've hit top 100 a couple of times, but mainly in the early part of the season where not a lot of people were here. And I am all the way down now at, let's have a look, 94. I got 94 on the leaderboard, and part of that was due to 2 challenge battles that I won. So I want to show you the decks that I've been using. The GDI deck I've been using a lot, sort of 14 battles. I had a couple of iterations of this, but this is the core of it. It is Shockwave Troopers, Jump Jet Troopers, War Dogs, Pitbull, Predator, and APC. Been really struggling to find a good use for APC, but I've been playing up against a lot of Flamer Shockwave Troopers, a couple of MG squads, and the APC is a really tanky, beefy unit that can hold points for a very long time, and it's actually been doing me really well. If you don't have the APC, the Rhino is an okay replacement. I would recommend putting in a Talon because it does the same thing as well. So Rhino or Talon is an okay replacement. If you don't have Jump Jet Troopers, they are pretty core in my opinion. They do really well at sort of harassing enemy backline vehicles, as well as if they bring out things like the MLRS or the Giga Cannon. However, you could replace them for either snipers and then go for a more anti-vehicle aircraft like the Orca, or you could replace them with missile troopers and just have a solid anti-vehicle infantry piece. But I just want to show you exactly what's been going on with them. All right, let's have a look at the 2 challenge battles. I just won these 2 challenge battles about 20 minutes ago or so. And the first one was versus, I have no idea how to pronounce that. If someone wants to pronounce it in the comments, I would love to know. But they were significantly further up on the leaderboard than me. They're about 50, I believe, from the All-Star career. And I've got a little bit of a level advantage, but not too much. So we'll have a watch of this one and kind of just go through exactly what happened in this game. And again, I'm not going to be doing anything super specific in this video. We're just going to be analysing the decks that I've used, as well as the fact that we're celebrating I hit top 100, because it's a big achievement for me. I'm not the best player in the world, and getting top 100 is a really big deal. So, again, as you might know, I open War Dogs. I like to get a very early scout. I have delayed my Harvester ever so slightly, but I'm not so bothered about that. Now, he's going to run laser troopers at me. The really big thing that I want you to pay attention to on the screen right now is the fact that I never ever step on a platform whilst he is on the platform. I want that missile charging as much as physically possible. It's important that only one person is charging the missile, and unless I absolutely have to, I don't want to have to delay that missile charging by much. So very happy to just sacrifice my War Dogs. They're only 10 cost, and I'm essentially just gathering information with them. These War Dogs have been a 10 Tiberium information gatherer, and as it stands, I've gathered enough information to know that he's gone Flame Troopers and attack bikes, which allows me to get out a couple of counters here. Now, I'm a little bit behind in terms of this missile, so what I do is I throw my jump jets over to the back missile, and then I have to delay it so that I can get my shockwaves onto the missile that he's trying to micro the bikes in front. I have to boost my shockwave troopers, and I tell you what, this gets very, very close, but that decision to send my jump jet troopers to the lower right platform gave me just enough time to get to the point where I'd done enough and contested and sort of worked that missile out. Now, I see just now that he goes for a chem buggy just as I get the APC out, and the APC is really good at dealing with flame troopers and shockwave troopers. It will sit on a point and it will contest versus those 2 types of units to the ends of these days, and then if they bring in any kind of anti-vehicle, they have the missile squad that drops at the back of the APC. I'm not going for the Predator now because that's going to be trying to put pressure on that chem buggy. I mean, chem buggies are like paper, so they go down really, really quickly. And at this point, I realized that I'm probably not going to be able to get enough true counters out onto the field, so the War Dogs are doing exactly what my Jump Jet Troopers did in the previous missile contest, and literally just going to sit there on the point and try and contest it for as long as possible, which just about buys me enough time to launch that second missile once more. And that is something that I think you can take away from this game, is that sometimes just building a unit to contest a pad, even though you know that unit's going to die, it's going to get no value in terms of trades, can often sneak those missiles for you. And that was the win that I got there. The APC again held that bottom point, dealt with both those flame troopers, didn't get touched, and even if he sent a bike squad at me, it probably would have been able to tank that bike squad for a very long time whilst I got jump jet troopers over there. The second deck that I'm running is something that I don't expect you guys to run because you probably won't have access to the Avatar. If you have access to the Inferno, you can use that instead, and this is what's called a classic Nod air deck. You could also replace this with the Giga Cannon, it would do a pretty decent job. You could replace it with any kind of extra infantry that you might want to run, or you might want to run another tech units, for instance, cyborgs. Any of the tech units actually probably fit in pretty well. The Avatar is a multi-tech unit, so it does lots of things. I think the Widowmaker would be like the budget replacement for this particular unit, except for it's not so good versus vehicles, but it's good versus air. So the Widowmaker would be a budget replacement for the Avatar here. You could also run something like a cyborg. You could also potentially run flame tank, but it's not so good versus anything other than infantry. But the Avatar in general is a very good multi tech unit. It does lots of good work versus plenty of units. Its only weakness is air, but that's why I got the Phantom in here to try and protect it, as well as the Banshee. This has actually got an important lesson in this game, because Jojo, poor Jojo, fell for a classic double harvester trick. Now, I went double harvester in this game. I usually recommend that you don't go double harvester, but what I did here is I tricked him into getting distracted while I got my double harvester out. Really important part of running a double harvester build, by the way, is you often do want to go for your harvester first. You're not bothered about contesting platforms. And watch what I do with my missile troopers. I kind of almost forget at the start here. I actually go all the way round, not wanting to touch any of the pads. The reason I don't want to do that is because I don't want to charge the missile. On the opposite of what I did on the GDI deck that I had, I kind of want this game to be delayed as long as possible. If you watch my double harvester video, you'll know that I say that really the most important thing for you is time. So I'm giving myself as much time as possible. Now watch him spend so long dealing with my laser troopers. That's the mistake that he made here. I'm just going to pause quickly. Usually I pause and talk about things. The mistake that he made there was that he got his laser squad, which does no damage to my laser squad, got distracted by my laser squad going around and running aimlessly at his base. I mean, the only thing that I was aiming to do with that laser squad was gather information. I didn't really want to get anything done, maybe a bit of harass on his harvester, but to be honest, there was no real end goal for my laser squad there. He then kept his laser squad attacking my laser squad and then brought out flame troopers. He could have very easily run his laser squad at my base and then gone and found that I'd gone double harvester and maybe looked to go aggressive, but he didn't. He didn't do that, and that's actually cost him a lot of time, because now I know exactly what kind of units to pump out. And I know Venoms are not going to do well versus level 12 laser squads, but with enough Venom pressure, I can delay him getting to my harvester. Over the next couple of minutes, or even just seconds, you'll notice how much I invest in just keeping this missile neutral. Even when the attack bikes come out, it's Venoms for days, boys. I'm just trying to keep this missile as neutral as physically possible, because remember, the one thing that I want from this game is time. So I'm just going to try and delay him for as long as I physically can. More Venoms, more Venoms, more Venoms. I know they suck versus attack bikes, but again, I'm just trying to delay as long as possible. Now he goes for a Giga Cannon, which is where I was like, oh wow, this is not actually a true aggro deck. This is a little bit more spicy than a traditional aggro deck. But luckily I have a pretty decent answer in my deck to the Giga Cannons, and that is the Banshee. The Giga Cannons can't attack anything in the air, so just by having a Venom on the platform as well as my Banshee here, again, I'm just keeping that missile super delayed, super neutral, and I've already got my Tech Lab out. And you'll know that, you know, as soon as you get that Tech Lab out, it's just buying time enough for your avatars to come online, and my single Banshee actually gets a double kill versus his Giga Cannons. So even if I end up losing this missile, the amount of time that I've bought myself to get into avatar territory is absolutely insane. And he keeps taking his units off the pad. Like, he should have been sending up something up to that top right pad and just charging it, just trying to get that missile out as soon as possible. And although I do try and contest and delay it a little bit more, he has got to the point now where I have to succeed this first missile. And I do try to get the avatar on board to try and contest it, but unfortunately he did get the first one. However, that's the first missile. I've already got my avatars out, and he doesn't really have a solid answer. The Giga Cannons are okay. He's gone for the double Giga Cannon, and this is something that I talked about in previous videos. Often doubling up can be really powerful. So you'll see here that he tries to double up versus my avatar. I managed to break line of sight, however, and avatar with the buff, avatar with the Oxana buff, forgot her name for a second, is really good. Like, the avatar with the Oxana buff is just insane. You do so much damage, and although you do take a bit of extra damage, oh, it's just such an incredible incredible thing. Something that I didn't know, by the way, and this is something that might be useful to you if you ever try to run avatar. When the avatar is exploding, until it's actually exploded, it counts as a unit on a platform. So that could actually be useful in some way, shape or form for clutch contests. And obviously it explodes and destroys or deals a lot of damage in the area. And at this point, I've now got 2 avatars on the field. I mean, this is like the equivalent of having 3 mammoth tanks on the field. And although he's got Giga Cannons, they take a little while to ramp up. He's not running the Oxan and Giga Cannon combo. And now I'm just going to run it down at his base. He has to deal with the avatars killing his base because, unfortunately, he doesn't really have the luxury of trying to contest the missile platforms through 2 avatars, which would just essentially kill everything that he's got. So by the time that the second missile is blown up here, I've got 3 avatars on the field. I've already done a significant amount of damage to his base, and the game is over. And that is another 50 points in my back pocket, and this is the one that projected me onto the leaderboard. Well, that was a really, really fun set of games. I hope that you enjoyed them. I'm top 100. Woohoo!